It's a weirdly calm night at West Beach on a Wednesday, about 27 degrees, sunny. Not a wind in sight, but perhaps it's the calm before the storm. The top two spots will be decided tonight as the Softball Premier League goes down to the final two games of the season. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. Welcome inside Softball South Australia at West Beach on beautiful Ghana land. My name is Eric Ballnar. I am joined by two players that are on a team, the only team that has clinched a spot in the top two, the qualifying final. It's Neely Peterson to my right. It's Becky Havas to my left. Becky, Neely, thanks so much for joining us. And first, congratulations on Seacombe clinching that top two spot.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There is a bit on the line today. What we do know for sure, we don't know much, but we do know that Seacombe are going to finish top two, and you will be playing in a 1-2 game on Saturday night. Now, if you win the 1-2 game, you go straight to the grand final. Your opponent, yet to be determined. It's either going to be Walkerville, who play tonight versus Glenelg, or Port Adelaide, who are playing right now on the backfield versus Hills. And the equation's simple for Walkerville. They win, they play Seacombe. They also win, likely, the Linda Martin Trophy for the minor premiership. They lose, and Port Adelaide have a window to play top two. I know probably what the answer is going to be. Any preference on who you play in the 1-2 game?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't pulling for Glenelg tonight, but, you know.
But, on the other hand, too, if Glenelg win, Seacombe are minor premiers, and that would be a heck of a story. Becky, you have been around the club for a while now. What would that mean what does it mean right now for Seacombe just to be in that top two spot?
Well, it's been a long time since we've been here, and it will be good to get the Tigers' name back out there, because we are definitely threats. And yeah, we'll see how this game pans out, and then we'll see how the rest of the 3 games go for the rest of the season.
We'll get to the lineups in a second, but on the theme of threats, that woman right there in the circle, the lefty, Emily Price, has had a monster season, including a monster game in a Glenelg win versus Port Adelaide on Saturday. Neely, before the game, you were saying, kind of circling Emily Price in the circle, saying, yeah, that's sort of the key to Glenelg's success.
Yeah, absolutely. Emily is the key point, to their team. Not saying that they're not surrounded by fantastic players, but in the circle, she's a force, and at the plate, she's a force. I know when we play them, she's the one I circle in the lineup, so she's just really key to them, leading them to success tonight.
Glenelg have a bit of groove about them. It's their final game of the season. They are going to finish 5th in the standings. They've got 20 points, but they've only lost 1 game in their last 7 contests. So they are in good form right now, and they've already caused chaos amongst the top 4 teams. Bailey Lukes will lead things off, the product of Oklahoma City, and it is a first pitch strike from Emily Price and a drop bat from Bailey in the box as well.
Oh, check that off the softball bingo card. I've not seen that one before.
An early one, too. Now, Bailey's had a big second half of the season. She's hitting .357 at the top of the lineup in her 8 games so far.
Yeah.
Coming off a year where she hit .517 for Oklahoma City. So
wow, I would say that's a heck of a season. Yeah, Emily Price looking in good form right now, getting up early. That's what she normally likes to do.
Slashed over to the left side. That gets by Amber Dodd Mobius, and it is a base hit and a leadoff runner for Walkerville, who are playing for a minor premiership tonight. Look at the replay.
Yeah, that's really good 2-strike batting there by Bailey. Honestly, with 2 strikes, you just want to get barrel on the ball, and that's exactly what she did, and put the ball in play. Good things will happen is what I always say.
Well, Sophie King is still technically in the mix for a batting title. She would probably need to go about 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 tonight and have Jess Golden go in a stolen base attempt, and Bailey Lux is standing on second base.
Yeah, Walkerville definitely taking advantage of a bit of a catching change tonight. I'm not sure that she hasn't had too much time behind the plate this season, so.
I think it's only her second game in the Premier League.
Yeah, so.
It's Tamika Penglaze catching. No Courtney Shepard tonight. She's away at a wedding. And no Sid Horton, the other key player on Glenelg. She has been playing shortstop but can also catch. She is off at the Caps medal tonight playing for baseball.
So I'm sure Walkerville was well aware of that and put that into the game plan for tonight.
Lee Langhurst at third. Amber Dodd Mobius playing short. Catcher and shortstop, that is the 2 positions Glenelg are missing. That is a big hole in the lineup to fill. Bree McGee at second. Gemma Sharkey is at first. Kenzie Ween in left. Georgia Bevan in center field. And Sasha Penglaze at right. Sophie King slashes one to the right side. Bree McGee makes the play. Runner advances to 3, though.
Yep.
Opens up some ways to score.
Honestly, that's really good situational hitting right there. Runner on second base. My coach always taught me you want to hit anything from the left field light post to the right field foul line. Move the runner over, and there you go. Now all you need is a sacrifice fly to get the runner in from third.
And Becky, it opens the window for one of the most dangerous hitters we've seen, probably over the last decade, in Chelsea Robinson, who's back in fine form this season.
Yeah, she's always a threat, Chelsea. She can lay down a quick bunt and hit a really long ball, and she's got a good pair of wheels on her. So a really, really dangerous hitter, and dangerous in the field as well. She's just a really fantastic player.
And a swing and a miss on Emily Price.
Yep. Emily has that really good down ball, which we saw in the last batter, induces those ground outs really often. So it's really up to batters to choose whether they want to be in the front of the box and catch it before it drops, or head in the back of the box and just let it drop and not be called a strike.
This one jammed a little bit, right back to Emily Price. There's 2 down.
Yep, not deep enough to do the job, but still help with 2 outs.
Glenelg will be very happy with that.
Emily Price started off the game a bit shaky on Saturday versus Port Adelaide, allowed hits in 3 of her first 4 batters, and with 1 out on the board was down 3-0. But she settled and steadied the ship, allowed 1 run the rest of the way, and ended up chipping in 5 RBIs of her own. You take away that first inning, and it was a heck of a performance in the circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ellie Smith hitting .486 on the season. She is 17 for 35. She's got 38 plate appearances, which is significant because you need 40 to qualify in the batting average race, which is it's a tight one right now. Probably going to go Port Adelaide's way. I'll get you those numbers a little later on in the broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Ellie has a chance to do some damage here. She's got a very powerful swing. Again, another one that's circled in the lineup when we play Walkerville. So I think that this is a really good matchup here to do some damage.
She's had a great
Either way.
B-grade season as well, Ellie Smith.
Yes, absolutely.
So she's got a runner at third. Walkerville, so often it feels like 1 run is enough when Taylor Caudill is being in the circle this year. But Emily Price, a big strikeout in Glenelg's final game of the season. Leadoff gets on, but what a job from Walkerville to get out of the jam.
Yeah, that was a really good inning by Glenelg. Walkerville were threatening there with the hit to left field, but now they did a really good job to get out of it, and now it's up for Glenelg to see what they can do with the stick.
Well, Walkerville will make the finals, but Glenelg won't make the finals, but it's not for a lack of a late season surge. They are 5-3-2 since Christmas, but they lost their first 3 games after the break. In their last 6, they've won, or the last 8, they've won 6 of them, drawn 1, and lost 1-0 to Seacombe. They have been in the mix in all of them, including a 14-5 win over Port Adelaide. Walkerville, meanwhile, well, they were 11-3-1 before Christmas, and they looked like they would perhaps be runaway winners of the minor premiership, but they're just 3-3-1 since the break, although they do bolster the best ERA and the best fielding percentage in the competition. They are coming off 2 straight wins, a 3-2 win over Port Adelaide and a 7-0 win over West Torrens. That will have them feeling good before finals, winning against top 4 teams. But one of the big keys to their success is this woman in the circle, Taylor Caudill, having a season for the ages. She's tough to hit, 212 strikeouts in 113 innings this year.
Absolutely. As somebody who has faced her a few times, she is tough to hit against, and it's nothing new to her. This is, what she was doing back at Boise State. She's just kind of fallen right back into that rhythm of just being really dominant. She's a rise ball pitcher, so as a catcher, she throws that ball and it's like light as a feather trying to catch it, and it just whips right by your bat.
Now, we've tried to go to the history books and ask some people at different clubs about when the last time we've had a 200 strikeout season has been, and we have come up empty so far. We are 0 for a little bit. There has to be someone.
First time for everything.
But Katie Sutherland Finch, I thought, was in the mix, but she had 189 strikeouts 1 year.
Wow.
Steph Trzynski was tracking for 1, but she didn't play the full season. I think she played 13 games and had 138 strikeouts, so it was a pretty good year from from Steph, but there's been a few 150s, a few people pushing, but certainly since I've been here, Monica Perry in her years didn't hit 200.
Yo Grau would have been up there in her first year as well.
Yeah, didn't hit 200.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
So
Taylor is just a different species. She's fantastic, and she's a force to be reckoned with.
I like that. A different species is one way to describe it, as Georgia Bevan steps to the plate. She's throwing to Bailey Lukes. Ellie Smith at third. Chelsea Robinson at short. Sophie King at second. Georgia Mason at first. Left to right in the outfield, Sophie Roberts, Haley Mayer, and Erin Stone. Bevan, McGee, Langhorst, Price, Penglaze of the Sasha variety. Jade Peterson, Dodd Mobius, Gemma Sharkey, Kenzie Ween round out the lineup for Glenelg. Well, Walkerville, it's simple. If they win and don't allow 11 runs, they are going to be the minor premiers, and they will play Seacombe in the 1-2 game on Saturday night at 7 p.m. It would be two teams that missed the finals last year, finishing 1-2. And one of those teams will be playing in the grand final. That would be a guarantee if Walkerville win.
It's the year of the underdog here in Adelaide.
Bevan fouls that away. Well, Taylor Cottle, the second half of the year, having to work with Bailey Lukes. I mean, you're a catcher, Neely. What's that like, trying to develop a relationship with a pitcher when you're kind of thrown into the fires in the second half of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can be difficult, especially because, pitchers are very particular about what they like to throw and their strengths because they know that. So it can be difficult as a catcher to just kind of get in there and get used to a new pitcher. But I think that a catcher of good caliber, even just be a good person, get along with somebody. You guys will figure it out, really. So I think that they've figured it out.
Well, Georgia Bevan has been a tough out over the years. One of the fiercest competitors you will meet. She's an AFLW champion as well.
Wow.
Two strikes on her. And Cottle just misses.
Mm-hmm. And there's that rise ball from Taylor, especially with two strikes. Deeper into the season, batters kind of start to get the hang of it, but at the end of the day, it's still pretty nasty. So to lay off of it is really
Becky, what's it been like facing Taylor Cottle this season?
Yeah, Becky.
Let's just say she's got me a few times, but she's a very, very good pitcher. A lot of experience, so you have to give it to her. She's got a really good mix of pitches. Probably most commonly throws the up ball. Gets a lot of us.
I feel like she's got me a few times. Could almost be a tattoo that most of those competition could have on their arms this year.
Yes.
Well, it's not going to be a strikeout. The ball is put in play, and there is an out. Soft contact does the job.
Yep, absolutely. And if she does come into the zone for that out pitch, she does throw pretty hard, so she is going to get that jam shot from a lot of batters.
Well, a crazy turnaround for Walkerville last year as well. They had the lowest fielding percentage in the competition last season. This year, their fielding percentage is .963. That's number one, just edging out Seacombe.
What are we sitting at?
.946, I want to say. But the interesting part here is the number of assists that the defense has this year. 61, which is the lowest in the league. Second to Seacombe, who have 120 assists. If you took a look at balls in play, that's about half as many as the next closest competition. Glenelg have the most. That's 183. So 3 times as many balls in play against the Glenelg defense as Walkerville. So, yes, their defense is good, but they haven't had to be as good most of the time.
Well, that is also the difference between a rise ball and a drop ball pitcher. A drop ball pitcher is going to throw that ball down in the zone and induce ground outs, absolutely. And then the rise ball pitcher is going to get that swing and miss more often. So it is true to the numbers.
If you have 212 strikeouts, that's a lot of outs that don't even get put in the air, on the ground. It doesn't matter.
That's the catcher getting a real nice breeze all game.
That's a lot of pressure as the catcher.
Right. Don't drop it.
Well, 2 strikes on Bree McGee. Taylor Cottle trying to get her first strikeout of the game. And there it is, 213 on the season.
She is just a mastermind in the circle, honestly, with that rise ball.
Lee Langhurst will step up to bat. Now, she's had a really nice second half. Glenelg have had some pieces come to play in that second half of the season. Langhurst played in Germany this last year. 10 games played on the Premier League season with a 3.04 average.
I really like this matchup with Taylor and Bailey to each other. It just allows them to put Chelsea at shortstop, which is just fantastic for Walkerville, because Chelsea's just, honestly, just such an athlete. And, you know, coming in, I think Bailey came in halfway through the season, maybe just under halfway through the season. They've just clicked really well, which is really good to see. And, yeah, like I said, it just frees up Chelsea to just go and do a thing.
It's a really good point that you make, Becky, as this is crushed to left field. Moving back is Haley Mayer, and it drops in over her head. It is a double and a runner in scoring position for Glenelg. Smoked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Off the bat, that's a rise ball that doesn't maybe get as high as Taylor wants it, but she got her hands to that ball really well, and up the middle solves the riddle. That's the best place to hit the ball, in my opinion.
Well, this will bring up a cool matchup in
Good
Emily
hands.
Price. Emily Price had 5 RBIs and a home run, including a 3-run shot, her competition leading 4th on Saturday. I talked to her after the game, and she said, I asked her straight up, and she said, if you throw me a ball down and in, I am going to swing, and I am going to swing hard. If you want to pitch to me up.
Oh, they put her on.
Taylor does not look happy with that decision.
Well, as
Neither does Emily.
I think Emily wanted
But
to
that's
hit
how you
too.
know you have two competitors. Honestly, they want to go against each other. That's what you want to see, really. Like, Emily wants to hit up Taylor. Taylor wants to throw to Emily.
Well, I wanted to see it too, because
I did as
as
well.
Emily was giving her trade
Oof.
secrets, Taylor Cottle
Yeah.
had the headphones on in the commentary
I
booth
know
saying,
that was a choice, certainly. But honestly, she's not afraid. She's not afraid to tell people where, and she's saying challenge me. And honestly, I respect it.
I don't know if we have a replay of that. That was a look that said 1,000 words from Taylor Cottle, hey, Becky?
And now put some pressure on Sasha here, because she's got 2 out. Runners on first and second. You could get an early lead here.
And as a batter coming in after getting the batter in front of you intentionally walked, you kind of have to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder with that. Like, you walk somebody to get to me, take it personally. You know, get a little bit angry up there.
Now, Emily Price is hitting .442 on the year, 16 walks, 23 RBIs, 4 home runs. She's a leader in the competition. She'll pull high in the Kath Coral Medal vote on Sunday. But Sasha Penglaze, who they've picked their poison now, she's hitting .290 this year. 18 hits on the season, 17 of them are singles, so she's not going to overpower you. But she can put the ball in play.
And that's all that matters, honestly. Single after single will kill you. So I'd really like to see how they attack each other here in this situation.
Last game of the season, a few crazy stats to sort out to end the year, some leaderboards and walks, and that is Emily Price's league-leading walk, by the way, if you include intentional base on balls.
And I wonder if that is because I've noticed since coming here there isn't too many lefties. So I wonder if it is a bit of a difference for pitchers to throw to lefties and kind of have that, like, you know, different view, if that induces a little bit more of the walks. And also she is a powerful hitter, so that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, thoughts, Becky? You're a statesman of the competition.
Yeah, well, even when she's in the circle, you don't see many
That's a
lefties
very
throwing
good
at you.
pitch.
So Glenelg have definitely got a really good asset there, throwing something different and having someone in the lefty box. That's quite unusual for. I'm not a pitcher, but it's strange to be at first base and have someone in the lefty box.
To add to the complexity of the lefty, Emily Price is not just a lefty. She's a lefty with just raw power.
Absolutely.
And a swing and a miss upstairs, so Taylor Cottle gets the out. Maybe not the out she wanted, but she does the job anyways. 2 strikeouts to her name, keeps that average up. It is a 0-0 scoreline. A look at the replay.
And there she goes with that up ball. Yep. As a batter, when you get 2 strikes with Taylor, you gotta know your zone right at your chest. Anything higher, you gotta have that, you know, discipline to let it go. It's a lot easier to say than it is to do, but
Well, have you two got your tickets to the softball awards night yet?
Yes, we have.
Well, that's good. I mean, that is where on Sunday night they are going to present the Linda Martin Trophy for the minor premiership. Now, we know Seacombe will have some final softball to play after. It'll either be on the Wednesday night in the prelim or straight to the grand final. So, you know, it's a mid-season function for your team. But if you haven't got your ticket yet, it is, I mean, we're kind of slightly past the deadline, but if you contact your club, like now, you can still get in on the action. We're going to name the Cath Coral medalist, the team of the year. There is I mean, there's no way the Cath Coral vote isn't tight this year, right? Like, there's going to be some players in the mix. Emily Price should pull a lot. I mean, almost every one of Glenelg's games, feel like she's going to get some points. Taylor Cottle's going to get some points. There's
Reagan Diaz.
Is going to get a lot of points. She does it with
behind the plate.
Neely Peterson's going to get some points. There's going to be a lot of points and a lot of players taking off points from each other. I think that's the tricky part this year.
That's good, though. That's what you like to see. You know, you have players come in and just compete. Makes everybody better. I've loved the competition so far this year. It's just been fantastic. Every game feels like it's close, and, you know, it's just fun to play.
Yeah, every game it does feel like it's being close, and you can look at Glenelg's track record as of late. If you read off some of their scores, take away the 14-5 versus Port Adelaide. This one popped up over towards first. Sharkey makes the play. There's one down.
Yep. There's that knuckle from Emily Price. You know, you can see it, but that doesn't make it any harder, or any easier to hit, should I say.
You know it's coming.
Exactly. And sometimes that almost makes it more difficult. You know, that keeps the batters out on their front leg and keeps them off balance and induces the weak contact like that.
On the theme of close games, though, Glenelg, here's their run of their last games. Other than 14-5 versus Port, they've won 2-1 versus West Torrens, lost 1-0 to Seacombe, drew Walkerville 2-2, won 2-0 over Sturt, 4-1 over Seacombe, 4-2 over Hills, and 3-0 loss to Sturt. So they have beat the top teams narrowly. They've lost to the bottom teams narrowly as this ball poked to the third base side. That's a nice throw from third.
Good play.
Lee Langer's having a good start.
It's a very good play.
Yeah,
Lee's really dangerous over there. She's got a really good throw. But also, Hayley Mayer is, you know, she can drop a short one and she can hit it to the fence. Bit of a power slapper, so she's also a really big threat.
Okay, we've seen a lot of really cool plays this year and over the seasons from third, but so much of that also has to do with the first basewoman and where that is. I mean, that's can sometimes be an errant throw from third because it's a quick release. You got to rush it. Where do you like it? How do you judge those throws coming in from third?
Well, you just got to make sure you don't get out in front. If you plant the front foot, you're pretty much screwed because it's just gone foul. Because otherwise you're set up for disaster, really. So it's really important to make sure you read it from the hand and don't get in the runner's way.
Georgia Mason fouls one away. Nice little season Georgia's had, hitting .273 this year.
Very respectable numbers there.
Yeah, starting to hit the ball a lot more consistently, Georgia, this year.
She's doing well for she's 18 or 17. She's doing well for a younger batter. She'll have some really good people to look up to, though, in the Walkerville side. Like, you've got your Chelsea Robinson, Ellie Smith, Sophie Roberts, Hayley Mayer, all those, Sophie King, all those names. So
those are some good. And Walkerville missed the finals last year. Usually they're around the mark for the finals, but I think we also forgot last year Sophie King, in her job as a paramedic, missed about half the season, maybe just over half the year. She is 465 is like a normal year for Sophie King. And Chelsea Robinson,
saving lives and hitting bombs.
Literally, what can't she do?
Exactly.
And Chelsea Robinson became a mum, so she missed a good chunk of last season as well. And now you have Chelsea Robinson at short and Sophie King at second. It's your middle of the infield. You want to wonder why their defense improved, where you have two all-star middle infielders and then a catcher like Bailey Lukes and a great pitcher. Well, that's probably a nice little recipe for
Yeah, that definitely doesn't hurt, I'd say. But it is really good. You know, she's younger, she's playing up. It was always so beneficial for me growing up playing with the older girls. You learn so much just from experience and just on the field, off the field experience. So this is just great for her to just continue to grow as a player.
Do you feel that responsibility as well when you have some of the younger Seacombe players poking
I do now, which is so crazy to think about. But honestly, I learned that in my 5th year at school, like to just kind of mentor the young ones.
Wow,
Great pitch by Emily there. But you take the young ones under your wing and they'll reward you. They will.
What goes around? Softball karma?
Yeah, absolutely.
People karma in general?
Absolutely.
There's a look at the pitch here on the Sporties replay and just sort of made Georgia silly.
Yeah, you see that drop on the outside. That's a tough pitch to hit.
So, Neely Peterson, you came over here from a stellar career at Florida Golf Course. Florida Golf Course
There
University.
are a lot of golf
Coast
courses in
University. How does one find their way to Australia? Like, what did that conversation look like to end up in little old Adelaide?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of a crazy journey. I mean, we got a new assistant coach my 5th year, and she dropped like this random fun fact about how she lived in New Zealand for 6 months, and I kind of was like, how did you do that? She was like, I played, international softball. She was like, do you want to do it? And I was like, absolutely. So originally I was aiming to go to New Zealand, but that didn't really work out, so I just took it into my own hands, and I sent a bunch of emails just determined to not let my softball career end just yet. And Anthony Weatherstone from Adelaide Softball Association answered me, and here I am. With the wonderful Seacom Tigers who picked me up.
The Mighty Tigers. Becky, were you the selling point? Are you like the spokesperson, the salesperson, being like, get to the Tigers?
Yes. Yeah, when Neely got sold by saying you can live with a
I
really...
was going to say, we thought that we lived with each other, and we both thought that we were going to be weird.
Both
I thought
really
she was going to be so weird.
So were you both apprehensive at first, being like, here we go?
Yeah. I was like, oh no, I think this girl's going to be really strange, but... It's turned out to be one of my bestest friends.
And it turns out you were both right. But,
exactly.
We were
both right, but it worked out.
Got to be with the right crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you'd rather be weird than boring, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Jade Peterson, a former Seacom Tiger, moved to the
Yes.
Rebs after Seacom didn't have a Premier League side. What was it, 4 or 5 years ago now?
I think it was maybe 4, maybe?
Pretty crazy that now Seacom are on the verge, potentially, of a minor premiership.
A lot can change in a few years.
Really nice pitch from Taylor.
Glenelg did that. Kind of a year behind, right? Glenelg, she moved over there, and then the next year, so that was a year after Glenelg didn't have a premiership side. They came back in the competition, and Seacom dropped out, and Jade needed a team, so she
There was a couple of them that went to Glenelg. There was the Penglazers and Jade, and also Sophie Kinnear, which she hasn't been playing many games this season. I'm not too sure as to why. She's definitely one of their key players. But yeah, it was a year for Seacom where we just set back into the B grade, did a bit of rebuilding, and came back stronger than ever. We had Annalie Dolman coaching the A grade, and then Bill Benedictson came in. So we've had some good coaching since then, which obviously has put us to where we are now. And yeah.
It's always hard to rebuild because you have so many quality players move sides, and when they move sides, sometimes you realize, hey, I like it.
Yeah, well, we had Jess Maslin move as well to Port, and she's had some really good seasons since moving. She's won a premiership or 2.
She's won a premiership. She's been on Team of the Year in left field.
Yep.
Before Port Adelaide had Jess Maslin, they'd been to exactly 0 grand finals in their entire history of their whole club. Jess Maslin has come to Port Adelaide, and they haven't missed a grand final since she's been there. So
Talk about impact player.
Yeah, she's dangerous. That one.
Jess is a gamer. She is. She'll pour everything into everything, no matter what type of diamond she is playing on. Amber Dodd Mobius.
That's good to see, though. That's what you want from a player. I mean, I know when I coached my girls in 16U, I tell them, you're here for an hour and 15 minutes. Just give me everything you've got for that hour and 15 minutes, and then it's going to be really fun when it pays off and you win.
Yeah, you can control effort.
Exactly.
Swing and a miss from Amber Dodd Mobius, another young player.
Seems like Taylor and Bailey are following a bit of a pattern of get ahead early with that first pitch strike and then just kind of chase the batter up and up and up after that until you get the strikeout, which has proved effective so far.
3 strikeouts, all swinging right now for Taylor Cottle. Now up to 215 on the season. She'll set the standard at the end of this game. I don't know when we'll see that mark be passed.
And Taylor's done that a lot with these, with her batters. She's gone up in the count 0-2 really early, and then she's thrown one down in the zone. A few of the batters have laid off her, which is really good, as Amber just did then. But it'll be interesting to see what she does now. It'll be interesting to see if throws a change, because I think that was a bit of the trend
last
as
one was a
well.
change-up, yeah. Because I know when you're facing a batter or when you're facing a pitcher that throws a little bit of gas and she throws up, you're just kind of hoping with 2 strikes that you shorten up and you're just ready to pull the trigger. So that change-up in the dirt can be really nasty, because if you're ready to pull the trigger, you just kind of get that half swing a little bit, break the wrist, and there you go, strike 3. So Taylor can play with your mind a bit up there.
Well, she went up and in on the last pitch.
Trying to use that signature rise ball.
She likes throwing in on batters, that's for sure.
Definitely taking advantage of the fact that she throws the big gas.
Now this one just kind of guided off the bat, right up the middle.
2-strike hitting.
Exactly what
Again.
Neely was just saying. You just want to focus on making contact, and that's exactly what she just did. Got to pass Chelsea, which is really surprising because Chelsea is an asset out there.
That's just good barrel up the middle. That's exactly what you want to do with 2 strikes. Shorten up, hit it on the barrel, and like I said, put it in play, good things will happen.
She didn't even need to swing through it, just bounced off the bat.
Well, when you have a pitcher who throws, with some speed like Taylor does, sometimes all you have to do is get to contact, Just keep it really, really simple, especially with 2 strikes.
Gemma Sharkey up to bat now. Glenelg had a pretty good approach versus Port Adelaide with 2 outs and 1 out on the board. They didn't get the leadoff runner often, but they still managed to score 14 runs, which is as many runs as they had combined in the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's a really good showing from them.
Sometimes you just got to get hot.
Absolutely.
Well, similar for Seacom this year, too.
I was going to say, I'd be lying if I said we weren't a bit hot right now. It's just sometimes it just happens. Everything just falls into place, whether it takes, a team however many games to get there. It's all about peaking at the right time.
Walkerville trying to win this game and try to go into the finals on a 3-game win streak as well. Seacom, a few games ago, kind of everyone sat there and said Seacom needed to win their last, 5 games to even have a chance.
Yeah.
And there you win the last 5 games,
Watch
and now
us.
your chance. Big prize on offer playing in that 1-2 game, giving yourselves 2 chances to get to a grand final.
Absolutely.
Is massive.
It is. I mean, you never know when you're going to have an off day. So to have that second chance is just fantastic.
Playing in the 3-4 game makes the road very hard as a swing and a miss again.
Yep, up on the hands. Taylor's just going to come at you with the speed she has. Sharkey had a bit of a big swing on a pitch in the zone before, so I think Taylor just really took advantage of that and hammered with the same pitch.
Well, if you take a look at the consequences of this game, if Walkerville lose this game and Port Adelaide win, Walkerville go to the 3-4 game, and that's significant because of their road to a premiership. They would have to play the 2-time defending champion West Torrens Eagles in an elimination game. And if they win that, they would have to play the loser of Seacom and Walkerville. And if they win that, then they would have to play the winner of Seacom and Port Adelaide. So in that way, you would have to win 3 straight games versus the 3 top finals teams in a season where nobody has really gone on a crazy run this year. Winning 3 in a row versus the 3 best is possible, but hard.
Exactly. I think that it's going to be really tough for anyone to make it to the finals, honestly, because it's been such a tight competition. Or the grand final, I should say.
And a swing and a miss again, so 2 strikes, trying to strike out the side.
Yep, 0-2 got her on the up pitch. If I'm calling pitches, I think I'm going up again just a little bit higher, see if we can get her for a 3rd time. Don't give her anything good to hit, no chance to shorten up, and just see if she can have that discipline.
She just stayed alive, Kenzie Ween.
Yep, I know how those feel as a catcher. Straight back to the mask.
Fun.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely fun. See stars for a bit, but it's fine. You got to be tough to be back there.
Doesn't look phased.
We'll do it again with 2 strikes. A key at bat, because if she gets on, we'll turn over the lineup for a 2nd time through, and it'll be the leadoff hitter again. Georgia Bevan had a pretty plucky at bat in her first appearance.
That's going to be the key for both teams, is to get the leadoff batter on. Second batter's going to have to be able to move her over, and then situational hitting from there on out. There she
Swing and a miss.
Up pitch. Again, if I'm, calling pitches, if I get a batter on rise ball twice, I'm calling a 3rd one. Don't give him anything close to hit with 2 strikes. Don't let him shorten up. pitch to your strengths. That's, 2 strikes.
We can see catcher and pitcher have a word there. What kind of conversations would go on after? She just struck out the side. What are you working on?
Absolutely. It might have been about the pitch before, the one that was fouled back. Maybe a hey, I missed my spot, it was too close, or maybe a hey, I should have called something a bit more out of the zone, But that's what's important about a pitcher and catcher relationship is you can call something and it's not always going to be thrown, or you can call something and it might not be what they want to throw, but it's all about those conversations you can have afterwards, work to get better, and then just become stronger as the game goes on.
Good pictures from Space Quake Sports. Well, the Happy Lapco.
Becky's favorite photo.
It's the worst.
I like it. It's a good picture.
I think she took the worst photo out of all of them.
But how's the Happy Lapco? It keeps you warm on a cold West Beach night.
Very good contraption.
Yeah, it keeps you warm. Jump online, support those that support the softball community. I am sure all the Seacom supporters that are listening into you right now that are anticipating watching you two play on a cold and windy Saturday, March 29th in the grand final, are going to need some Becky Habis endorsed Happy Lapco items to keep yourself warm.
Absolutely, and she'll
including
even take
myself.
A photo of you if you have it on. Take a photo with you.
I'll take a photo. Yep, that's it.
I don't know. It's a 7-inning game, no matter what in the finals. So maybe the pitcher needs it just to keep it a bit warm.
Yeah, honestly, that's a fantastic idea. Really, you could use it for anything. Get creative, people.
Here's Steph Gall up to bat. It's part of our trifecta of awards that we are giving away for the players of the game. I need those prizes, by the way. Trying to get a backfield update for you as well as Steph Gall up the middle. Emily Price didn't have anybody covering first.
Yep. And again, with defense has to be on par with that drop ball pitcher. And I said it once and I'll say it again. She's going to induce that ground out. Emily does a great job of getting the ball, but little miscommunication between first and second there, I think. So second has to realize that she's not getting the ball and she's got to cover first.
Crazy scoreline on the backfield, by the way. Any guesses what the score is?
Who's playing?
Port Adelaide and Hills.
Good play.
Emily Price gets the tag. We'll just play the guessing game.
I'm going to say that Hills is winning. 5-1.
It is 8-5 for Port Adelaide.
Oh. Do we know who's pitching that game?
Yeah. Kelly O'Brien is pitching for Hills, and I know that Liz Engler. I'm assuming she's pitching because Willie Lee is here. So, 8-5 in the scoreline.
Well,
that is a wild score. Port Adelaide have allowed a few runs, 19 runs in their last 6 innings of softball play.
But Walkerville here, like I said, did a good job getting the lead batter on, moved her over to second. Good base running there by the last batter. Don't run into a tag, give him an easy out. So now we just need some situational hitting. Anything to the right side, move her to third, and then anything to the green after that.
Well, now that's some people watching that backfield game, maybe the people that are scoring the game as well.
Oh, yeah.
But this is where the Walkerville lineup can eat. Bailey Lukes, 357 average. Sophie King, 465. Chelsea Robinson, she's played for Australia, and she's hitting 370. And Ellie Smith is hitting 486. If you survive that, you get Sophie Roberts. So a bit of a gauntlet at the top of this Walkerville lineup.
It is, yes. Emily's going to have, she just used that knuckleball, got Bailey out on her front, foot, weak contact. She's going to really have to mix speeds here to keep these powerful batters off balance and give her defense a chance to make some plays.
We've had the leadoff runner on to start the game.
There's
it was Lukes that did it herself. And when Emily Price should be
identical.
Out of the inning right now, but...
Yep. If she can get another ground ball and Glenelg can take care of business, then they should be just fine.
Well, Sophie King steps up to the plate. She has won multiple premierships with Walkerville, including these years where they went back-to-back about 7 years ago now. Sophie King was instrumental in those, a longtime player on the Stars. Back playing a full season of softball.
There it is.
And she's going to drive in the first run. Will that be the minor premiership winning run? And experience counts, and Sophie King delivers.
Yep. I love an attack early mindset at the plate. She's up in the box. She's catching that drop ball before it has a chance to drop, and she's ready to attack the ball, and that's just really, really good hitting with a runner on third base right there.
Well, Anthony Weatherston dropping off some Player of the Game awards. I'm not too sure if the Krispy Kremes are part of it now. Is that a bonus?
Cheers, legend.
Again, Walkerville with that same plan of attack mode with a new catcher behind home plate. Great throw from center field. Good backup, but
there's that attack mode also from just Sophie King in general.
absolutely. I mean, again, they've got the game plan that, they know that the normal catching staples aren't there today, so they're going to take advantage of it, and it's really working to their favor. Just good heads-up base running right there.
Sophie King has won a grand final MVP. And now slash to the right side is Chelsea Robinson, but it's right to the glove of Sasha Penglaze. But Walkerville have a key first run. And if all the scores hold on the live ladder right now, Walkerville entered this inning not in first place, and now they are in first place after it's an 8-5 scoreline on the backfield between Port Adelaide and the Hills.
Yep, seems like a bit of an adjustment there from Walkerville batters. They're up in the box, they're attacking early, so I'll be curious to see if Emily and Tamika change their game plan a little bit, maybe throw some junk early in the count, change their mindset, so we'll see what happens next inning.
Second time through the lineup, you can see Glenelg huddling in front of their dugout. Nat Brinkworth adjusting the team. This is Nat Brinkworth's final game as the coach of Glenelg. She told the team a few minutes before the game on Saturday that this will be her final season with the club. And they responded by giving her 14 runs, which wins most of the time you play a game. So I'm sure Glenelg, everybody loves Nat Brinkworth in that club. I am sure that they will have a feisty effort, although it comes against a tough pitcher in Taylor Cottle.
It absolutely does. But when you've got something to play for like that, you have a reason, you have a why. It's always nice, to just kind of have that. Gives you a little bit of fire if maybe you thought, we're not going to make finals. You can't let yourself lull into that mindset that it doesn't matter. There's always still something to play for.
Well, just like KT, who stepped away from the game on Saturday, and now he's just here at the field again watching.
It's like he never left. The game will never leave you.
Yeah, Nat Brinkworth will be in the commentary booth for that first game on Saturday of the 3-4 competition.
When you leave, you never really leave. I'd like to see Glenelg make the same adjustments that Walkerville was. With Taylor, I'd go back of the box, as opposed to Emily, I'd go front of the box. You got to know your zone, what's too high and what's right there.
At the back of the box, you can eliminate the rise ball.
Absolutely.
So that's also a good thing, and then you can sit on the change.
Exactly. With Taylor, you have to pick a speed. You either want fast or you want slow. If you're trying to swing for both in the same at-bat, you're going to be in trouble.
Back of the box now.
Get your hands on top of that rise ball, and she throws with enough speed. Get to contact. Good things will happen.
Can Glenelg just put a bit of pressure on this Walkerville team? They had runners on first and second, albeit with 2 outs, and one was on an intentional walk back in the first inning.
Yep. I think it's really key for Glenelg to get the leadoff batter on here, so I'm hoping to see a really feisty at-bat here.
It was feisty the first at-bat before she just had a soft pop-up down the first baseline.
Good discipline.
Really good discipline there.
Got to be disciplined with Taylor, make her come into the zone, and then you have to be ready to attack when she gives you that pitch. Keep the hands inside, get the barrel to the ball.
As it stands now, it'll be a Walkerville-Seacombe game unless Glenelg can put a couple runs on the board. Fouled away again.
If that's the case, I hope I can follow my own advice.
Some game tape to watch back before Saturday's game, and you'll hear yourself analyzing your opponent. Walkerville, a very dangerous team. They're 11. They've only lost once when they've scored more than 2 runs in a game this year. So the magic number is 3 for them. 12-1 when scoring more than 2 runs this year. Helps when your pitcher has an ERA of 1.05.
Absolutely.
Seacombe would be similar, though.
Oh, absolutely. I know for me behind the plate, I feel really confident when we get at least 1 to 2 runs across the board because, you know, I know my pitching staff is very strong and our defense has just really fallen in line behind them. So I can imagine a pitcher like Taylor on the mound, you get 1, 2 runs, you're feeling pretty good. I can imagine Taylor would like a little bit more than that, but...
Again, similar result to the first at-bat.
Ooh,
Wow, what a catch!
Play.
No glove, no problem for Georgia Mason.
Oh my goodness.
That is a fantastic play.
That is top 10 play of the season, I have to
really
say.
Is. The hand-eye coordination on that is fantastic. To not be distracted when she hits you running up the line, that really is fantastic.
Well, I know every year at the awards night, Spacequake Sports puts together some plays of the year.
She never took her eye off that ball. That is good softball right there.
Oh, well done, Georgia.
Well done, really.
That is fantastic fielding. She's got the biggest grin on her
Never once
face.
did her eyes leave the ball. I mean, talk about laser focus.
That might be the play of the season from Georgia Mason.
It's certainly been my favorite play so far.
Respect from a fellow first base.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Becky, what would you have done in that situation?
I would have done the exact same thing.
Good answer.
Oh, well.
I would have appreciated just the attempt if the glove comes off.
Absolutely, yeah.
If that ball fell through her hands, you would have been like, oh, that's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
what an effort.
Yeah.
Stuck with it. That's what you had, let alone make the play.
Well, I know she catches a bit, and I know that when I give catching lessons and when I've taken catching lessons, there's a lot of bare hand work going on involved. So I'd like to think that's got to do with her catching background a bit.
Take credit.
Gonna take the credit.
Yeah,
Yep, absolutely.
Of course you would.
We'll have to chuck the replay up again a bit later on. That was a fun play as Bree McGee comes up. I'm sure as a pitcher you appreciate that too.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
think everyone appreciates that.
Because again, the importance of getting a leadoff batter on now, especially against 2 great pitchers, is huge. So to eliminate that leadoff batter is really, really great.
Get that up on the socials and make that thing go viral.
Yeah, I'll be putting that on my story. That was a great play.
Get it to be Softball South Australia's top video. This is standard to me. I think the top one is 1.6 million or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, Katie Sutherland Finch.
That was against Tigers, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Funny enough, yes.
6 innings pitched. The game was
Before.
called the
18
Times.
strikeouts.
18 strikeouts, no hits, no walks. Perfect game, 18 strikeouts.
I'm not laughing. It's not funny.
Yeah, it was tough. Good effort from Katie Sutherland Finch, though. It's hard to do.
It is. That is very hard to do.
Yeah, surely.
Never lived that one down.
Surely at some point you just not
Becky,
swing and
were
just
you
leave
part
the.
of that?
I was, unfortunately.
You can watch her strike out 3 times on that video.
Oh, there's the replay of the...
Here it is.
I mean, just never once did her eyes leave that ball.
That is such a good play, Georgia.
And it was clutch because catcher wasn't sure where the ball was. She had her eyes on it the whole time. Taking care of your pitcher, that's what I call that.
My favorite part is just that casual toss at the end of it.
no
Just
big
being
deal,
like,
whatever.
yeah.
I'm a first
I meant
baseman.
to do this.
I'm a first baseman and a catcher. My job is to catch the ball.
By any means necessary.
Exactly.
Now there's one out here, and we've
Huge
got
walk
Lee,
there by the last batter.
Lee up to bat, and we have the dangerous Emily Price on deck. So it'll be really interesting to see what Walkerville do here.
And they've already used their intentional base on balls.
Are you only allowed to do one?
I think it's 1 inning, isn't it?
Well, it was 1 a game, but you can kind
she
of
got
get
her.
cute with it, I suppose. Again, soft.
Bit of a jam shot
we'll
there.
see
I think
here.
Taylor learned from the last time, moved the ball on the inside of the plate a bit on her. Just a little bit late. You're going to get that jam shot ball.
Well, it has been.
This is the matchup we want, people.
This is Emily Price hitting .442 on the year, leads the competition in home runs, has 23 RBIs. She's 2 behind the lead entering tonight. Leads the competition in walks. Hit a home run on Saturday night, and they're going to go head-to-head here.
Now, does Taylor take advantage of the information she found out? Not with that pitch, but it worked out.
Now, if you can't intentionally walk her, you can get cute with it and, have a few lazy balls to the outside, I suppose. But I think Taylor wants to go.
Walk. Oh, absolutely.
Taylor wants to go at her, I think.
I think so. And you know what? Let's do it. You've got a run to play with, so
Well, these two will be going toe-to-toe, I think, when it comes to getting votes as well on Sunday night in the Cap Coro Medal. And there was Emily Price.
Taylor put the heat on that one.
Well, Emily Price said, don't throw it to me low and in on Saturday after the game.
If I'm Taylor, I'm going, tucking it right up underneath the hands here.
Can't miss versus Emily Price.
Went outside. That could be dangerous. But Emily does. She has that strong, powerful swing where the hands drop right into the ball. But I think that could potentially work in favor of Taylor, keeping it up, inside. I wouldn't go off speed.
She's learned that before. Remember last game, she sent a yard from the off-speed first pitch.
Like she's setting it outside again, maybe.
Swing and a miss. And that was a battle that both of them wanted.
I was going to say, that was I'm trying to hit a home run, and that was I'm trying to strike you out.
And I was just about to think we were going to go an inning without a Taylor Cottle strikeout, but it's not to be. She's got 6 through 3 innings.
When's the last time since that happened?
Yeah, not this year, but, and a swing and a miss. And, yeah, that's a great battle. I always love watching those matchups.
Me too.
Let them play.
Let them play, especially when you have two people that just want to go against each other. That's good. That's competition right there.
Well, jump online and register for the Softball SA Pathways Classic. 2 weekends in April, both 2 weekends leading up to Easter, one at Ridley, one at Edinburgh Park. Under 16s and 18s. Annie Fidge said it best on the broadcast on Saturday. We just need more opportunities for our players to play in South Australia. Significant volume game difference, as you would have experienced, Neely Peterson.
Oh, absolutely. I would be lying if I said that it didn't feel like after state, I got clubbed in both of my knees. Honestly, it's been so long since I've had to play that many games.
It was hilarious.
I was actually really nervous because I couldn't really walk up the stairs. I was like, is this the end of my career?
Reagan
but it was
is like
so
an Energizer bunny where she was just still bouncing off the walls.
Okay, but mind you, catching 7 innings for 12 games, I think I caught 12 of them.
Nearly looked like she had been shot in both the legs. Like she was not moving. She was booking in the hydrotherapy, booking in every form of therapy you can.
Our coach, Ben, was like, you said you wanted every game. And I'm like, my knees could be snapped in half. I'm not playing. I'm playing. There's no question about it.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting point because you take a look at on face value here, Walkerville and Seacombe missed the finals last year. Both right now poised to finish top 2 if the scores hold tonight. You might look at the lineup and say, hey, not a lot of experience in the finals. How will it play out? But you look up and down the Walkerville lineup. We'll get to Seacombe in a second. You have a couple college players, including players like Ellie Smith and Bailey Luke. Sophie Kings won a couple premierships here. Chelsea Robinson's won a premiership and a national championship before.
She's an Australian player as well. Just casually.
Yeah. Sophie Roberts, the same thing. She's played over in Europe. She had the game-winning hit in the grand final in one of Walkerville's wins. So that top part of the lineup has it, and it's the same thing with Seacombe, right? I mean, you've played, how many tournaments have both of you played in that kind of style of play? So maybe the Premier League finals experience isn't there, but final softball is final softball any way you slice it.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And even the girls on Seacombe that haven't been part of final softball, they're such sponges to everything that, Reagan and I and Becky and our coach Bill and Sarah have to say to them. They just want to learn and they want to get better, and I think that's a major part of the success of our team.
Well, that ball in the dirt, and it's going to be a drop third strike, and Ellie Smith is going to scamper to first, and that might be a product of just not having the same catcher as well that you've had all season in behind the dish.
Absolutely. I mean, talking again about state, our pitcher at state, Lexi Kilfoyle, fantastic drop ball pitcher. Would I be lying if I said that that's not easy to catch? I think catching a drop ball pitcher is harder than catching a rise ball pitcher. But again, that's such heads-up batting by Ellie as well. To know that potentially that ball in the dirt can get by the catcher, you don't even think twice and you immediately take off to first base.
None out, runner on first.
And again, so key to get the leadoff batter on. Walkerville's going to want to sacrifice her over, get her on second, and then situationally hit from there.
Yeah, that has a ripple effect, that catching position to the pitcher, needless to say.
Oh, it does. I'd be lying if I said it was, easy to immediately get to know somebody in one game, especially with the drop ball pitcher. She has off speed. She can throw a bit of up. So Emily's really got everything, so it's hard to adjust to.
Well, as a pitcher, as Sophie Roberts swings through one, there's another
Big
strikeout.
out there.
But as a pitcher, you want to be able to throw that drop ball with confidence.
Absolutely, especially when that is her pitch. So I'm curious to see if maybe she's had to leave it up in the zone a little bit more tonight, and maybe that's why there's been a bit of a bat on ball more than we normally see. But
well, Tamika Penglaze hasn't caught much the last couple seasons for Glenelg, and she is doing a heck of a job.
She's a trooper, because honestly, we were thinking that Emily wasn't going to pitch tonight because of it. So for her to get back there and be like, no, you know what? We need to put our leader, our import in the circle. I'm going to stand back there and I'm going to do my job. Like
up the middle. Oh, and it was almost an amazing catch, but they can get two. There's one.
Very heads-up play there by the first baseman.
Yeah, well, you can see the open arms over at first from Ellie Smith, and now they've got a tagger. Yeah.
And we look at the scorers for that one.
That was it heads up on Emily's part?
We had to drop the ball. Well, it was a great snag.
I caught it. Drop it.
Here's the replay, the Sporties Bar replay. She lost it on the transfer.
Yeah, and now she's out at first, the batter, and then they throw to second, but they do have to apply the tag.
And Ellie Smith is just trying to dive back because she thinks the ball's being caught.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the first thing that you're taught in base running, freeze on a line drive. And that's exactly what she did, but unfortunately that's just they come back in the dugout and you say there's nothing you can do
almost
about that.
Strategic by Emily there. I don't think it was intentional, but
no,
we're going to say it's strategic.
She might, but that was worked out very well in Glenelg's favor. But also heads up to know to tag the runner,
Took a minute, but I think it did click.
I think it had to click on both ends
there.
Well, a pretty crazy defensive game. We've seen the catch of the year from Georgia Mason. We've seen the play from Emily Price. And when you all slice it up, it is a one-swing ball game as we have just about to tick over the hour mark of the game. So no new innings in about half an hour times from now. And a minor premiership and a spot in the 1-2 game is on the line for Walkerville.
That was fantastic contact by Haley, though.
No, absolutely,
really good contact. That's probably the best contact we've seen all game.
You can never be mad at a line drive up the middle,
exactly. It's just unfortunate that Emily got a hand to it, because you know what, that thing was probably going to be a nice single.
That's that pitcher reflex, though.
Yeah.
You grow up, especially Emily, not wearing a mask. You learn really quick. Ball up the middle, put the glove up.
Glove to it, yeah.
Protect your teeth.
Well, Taylor Cottle takes the ball again. She's got 6 strikeouts tonight, 218 on the season. You talk about watching history. I mean, we'll talk about this number for a while on years to come on the stream about can anyone catch Cottle's number. Well, the number is being posted as we speak. We'll get the final number tonight. Sometimes you just got to sit back and appreciate that you're watching that number.
Absolutely. This is, greatness that we're watching. And I think if Taylor does return, the one person who's going to want to catch that number is going to be Taylor.
She's had an outstanding clip. She's now pitched 116 1/3 innings, and she has 218 strikeouts. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Almost 2 an inning.
Definitely taking a lot of pressure off of the defense.
I think Walkerville had a similar situation last year with, was it Jessie Drezick last week?
A couple years ago, was it?
Whatever.
Jessie Drezick?
Yeah. They also had the same situation. She threw gas, and she was, making it a bit easier for the defense. But
straight up in the air from Sasha Penglaze.
Good.
And a nice play from Mason. She uses her glove this time now.
Great game, Georgia is. She's having a great game.
And also just good communication, good vocals. You always want to take the ball away from your pitcher. They did the job. They threw the pitch. You take care of the rest. So that's just a great job of her to just take care of her pitcher right there.
Well, Jade Peterson having a sneaky good season with the bat, entering today. Hitting .357, Jade Peterson.
Yeah, I would say.
Pretty good for a pitcher.
I was going to say, that might be a bit more than sneaky good.
Yeah. She's having a great season.
Yeah.
I think it's really helped having the load taken off with the pitching. She could focus on DPing and, she's just unleashed this season. She's always been a threat with the bat, but I think this season more than not, she's been an indefinite threat.
Well, we've seen Jade be used in so many roles over the last, however many years here. Back to that Stars drought-breaking premiership a couple years ago, and how important Jade Peterson was in the Stars winning that, pitching some key games on that final day. Having to beat Victoria.
Yeah, taking off load from Yo. I think Yo threw a lot that tournament.
Yo threw a lot that tournament.
Tonks took some absolute screamer catches left field.
Belle White still has the chalk marks against the fence over here on the right side, and a catch that really provided a lot of momentum for the Stars that year.
Yeah, great year for the Stars, and I think that year literally set us up for success. We wouldn't be where we are now without that year.
Now a whole another iteration of the team as a national champions, doubling down.
Still a Peterson on the team winning, though.
Still a Peterson. That's the Nita Peterson.
She goes down swinging.
Rise ball again with 2 strikes. It's
true. The Stars have won 2.
You can always paint the picture.
2 national championships in the last 60 years, and they both come in the last 3. And the only common denominator is the last name Peterson.
There we go. My dad would be proud, by the way. Hello, Dad. I'm shouting you out. Please don't be mad that I didn't.
Amber Dodd Mobius had a single in her first at-bat.
I think Taylor's just going fishing there a little bit. You may as well just throw it up there and see what they do. Worst case scenario, she's good enough to come back.
Absolutely.
And she might swing at it. Who knows?
Is there going to be much of a mental adjustment going to finals, knowing that there's going to be no time rule? It's just going to be 7 innings no matter what?
I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest, because it's a long game. It really is. And, all throughout me playing at university, it's 7 innings no matter what. And it is just kind of a nice relief. Obviously, you want to turn it up in innings 1, 2, 3, but you can fall back on that 7-inning rally as opposed to there's 5 minutes left. What if they call time? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more mental games that get played with the timing.
Oh my goodness, Chelsea Robinson.
She was on it the whole way.
Yep.
Well, you want to know why this team has the #1 rated defense in the competition. You've seen a couple plays in 2 straight innings.
Absolutely, and really good on Walkerville because it's really easy to fall asleep when your pitcher's striking everybody out. So good on them for always being heads up and still ready for that occasional ball put in play, and she was on it the entire time. I didn't have a doubt in my mind that she wasn't going to catch it.
Yeah, Chelsea just read that like a book. She did
absolutely.
So well with that. That's just having Bailey behind the plate just allows for those kind of plays because you know what? If Chelsea was catching, that might not have happened, and they could have had a base runner on at the stage, and who knows what would have happened from there. So really, really good job to Chelsea there.
Don't forget to join the Sporties Bar Footy Tips. We're through 1 round so far of the AFL season. Becky, are you a footy fan, a footy supporter? Who do you go for?
I am a Crow supporter.
Oh, you're near the top right now, riding high.
Yes, I can guarantee we'll make finals. Hold me to it, everyone. We've got a really good team this year, but I also am a Saints supporter, so I have to have one extreme to the other. So
how to
really
go this weekend would have been very conflicting.
Primary team is the Crom, but I do like St Kilda. Give them a few years and I reckon they'll be up there. But yes, Crows had a really good game, and I think if you back Crows, you're in for a good season, everybody.
Well, if you want to lose in the Footy Tips competition at Sporties Bar to Becky Havis, you can go and join that QR code that was just on your screen. 1-0 game right now. Sophie King is the difference maker in terms of offense so far. Her 2-out RBI single in the 3rd is the difference. Ground ball right back to Emily Price. How many times have we seen a ground ball back to the pitcher in this game?
Yeah, especially with Glenelg. In most games, I feel like a lot of the bunts go back to the pitcher and a lot of ground outs go back to the pitcher. So it's up to Emily to make a good throw, which she has most of the time. But I feel like teams have been able to capitalise when she doesn't make that good throw to first.
Well, I think we're about done on the backfield. We are past the time limit. It's still the bottom of the 4th. So Port Adelaide get the job done. They're winning 11-5, but there won't be time for a new inning on the back. So Port Adelaide are now in second on the live ladder because they finished their season with 32 points. Walkerville need to win, and they will finish top of the table. And another great defensive play. Bree McGee this time ranges over and makes the play. We could have a whole highlight reel of the defensive plays this afternoon.
That was a fantastic play by Bree McGee and Gemma Sharkey. Sorry, almost said the maiden name. And Gemma Sharkey to get back there. That was fantastic. Steph Gould just did not give up. Really good to try and leg it out.
Defense wins ball games. That's
There
what
you
I'll
go.
say.
I'll
And I'll
pop out right back
stand
to the
by
catcher. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Other than that 2-out single from Sophie King, we've had no scoring in the game so far. It was a 2-out single in an inning that had an error in that allowed the first base runner. It just goes to show. Make mistakes in defense, and usually it comes back to bite you, and that's the difference so far.
Especially with a leadoff batter. Leadoff walk, leadoff error. Something about the leadoff just holds a heavy curse to it, really. But this inning is going to be huge for Glenelg. They're really going to have to push to get that leadoff batter on and move her around the bases.
So it's over on the backfield. Seacombe remain top with 32 points. Port Adelaide also with 32 points, but on the tiebreaker, which is runs against, Seacombe have them. So the formula is simple. There's only one result left in the entire Premier League season, and it's these half hours that you're watching right now between Walkerville and Glenelg. If Walkerville win, it cannot be a draw, it can't be a loss. They will finish top and play Seacombe in the 1-2 game. If Walkerville lose and Glenelg come back, well, then it'll be Port Adelaide versus Seacombe, and Walkerville will play West Torrens in the 4-3 game. There's been so much theorizing, I guess, over the last few weeks about where things could fall. This is as simple as the season has felt.
I was going to say, and I say this with no sense of urgency at all. Glenelg needs a run here.
Yeah.
Not biased at all.
Well, a minor Seacombe have locked themselves into the 1-2 game, but winning the minor premiership as the top team in the season would be pretty cool, and that is what's on the line for. You can hear Neely Peterson's voice in her Seacombe Tigers right now.
Not biased at all.
Well, Gemma Sharkey, Kenzie Ween, and then the lineup turns over for a third time. They should still have a couple more cracks at it. Still not 20 minutes until no new innings. So Sharkey, Ween, and Bevan, but they have to solve the riddle of Taylor Cottle, who's given up a walk, an intentional walk, and 2 hits today.
Yep, I think the key for Sharkey here is to just really shorten that swing up. Just look to make that short contact, whether it's up the middle or in the 5-6 hole, and just get the bat to the ball.
That's how Amber Dodd-Mobius got on base in the second. It wasn't even a full swing. It was a check swing that went right up the middle.
And that's the key. Lay off the high one, the one in the zone, just get the barrel to the ball by any means necessary.
Taylor Cottle has been a heck of an import from Boise State.
Absolutely.
She's pitched all but 5 1/3 innings this year for Walkerville. So interesting to see how teams navigate different strategies. Seacombe has gone with a near 50-50 split with 2 pitchers. And it's also got the job done in terms of runs allowed, the second lowest in the competition.
Yeah, it definitely has. Taylor is the definition of a workhorse and truly dominant, because to be able to face teams 3, 4, 5 times and to still be able to chop them up the way that she does is really masterful, honestly. Like, that is just dominance. But even just speaking with Taylor off the field, she's a gamer. Like, she is just all about the game. Like, again, when we see the walking Emily and she wants to go after her, like, she's just that kind of player. Like, she wants to be in the game, she wants to be on the mound, she wants the ball, she wants to get you out, and that's something you just really can't teach.
And another strikeout for Taylor Cottle.
Yep.
Number 8 on the afternoon for her.
It's a quiet night for Taylor.
Yeah, she's flirting with maybe not getting double digits. You know, it's
Game's not over yet, people. Give her a
Oh,
break.
It's her
Give her a
4th time
break.
seeing them and only 8 strikeouts. Come on, Taylor.
She's going to listen to this back, Neely, and absolutely hate you.
She's going to give me a hug.
Yeah, she will.
well, all 4 sort of penciled starters in the finals probably all have that quality about them. If you take a look at going from fourth to top, Steph Drzezinski has been, won the last 2 premierships and obviously fighting an injury and still battling through it right now. A total gamer. Taylor Cottle, you just spoke about. Regan Diaz for Seacom.
And Whitney Shepherd, she's done a bloody good job to come in and close the games. And even when she starts the games, she's doing a really good job to set Reagan up for success in the bottom half of the game.
Absolutely. It's going to be very tough offensively for every team, going into the finals. Everybody's got somebody on the mound that can chuck the ball and wants to play.
Can the tying run get on base? The way it's setting up, though, off the noggin.
2 in 1 night.
All you can do is sit and watch.
Yep.
And the thumbs up from Bailey.
Typical catcher form.
And Taylor knows too.
But just move on.
It'd be good for Kenzie to get on here because then you're looking at Georgia, Bree, and Lee coming up. And then obviously the dangerous Emily Price.
Absolutely.
So if she can get on here, you're looking at a really good step for success here for Glenelg.
And an interesting approach with Kenzie being up in the box. So maybe that's giving her a better chance at seeing the rise ball up and out of the zone, or maybe it's getting her a better chance of getting her hands to it a bit earlier and taking it for a ride.
She does have really good hands, Kenzie. Plays a bit of baseball, plays a bit of softball, so obviously just trusting her hands here.
Got the hands quick to it there.
She definitely did there.
She's doing well, Kenzie.
And honestly, in the front of the box, she's giving herself a good chance of maybe scooping that changeup out of the dirt, too, poking it through a hole. So hitting is very mental. Everyone's got their own thing, but Taylor definitely has an idea here.
Quick conversation between pitcher and catcher and what has been a lengthy at-bat from Kenzie Ween.
Exactly. It's really good to call time there or even just have that conversation, get on the same page. Taylor sharing what she's seeing, Bailey sharing what she's seeing. They put it together and see what happens.
Cottle has not allowed a hit in 10 batters.
There's the change.
That is a really good 2-strike changeup. Slightly out of the zone. That was really good discipline for her to lay off of it.
Not much room for error as Walkerville trying to secure a double chance at a grand final.
I'm going to say they go up and in here.
Oh, nearly.
That's why she's a national champion catcher, Neely Peterson.
I'd be lying. Sorry, guys. That did feel good. That did. I was really nervous there for a second.
I would have loved a low and out. I loved it.
9 strikeouts now for Taylor Cotto, who is a strikeout away from striking out the side and getting to double digits again.
I have to learn, Taylor's. We're going to be teammates in Europe, so I'm learning.
Are you?
Whether it's from a hitting perspective, now it's a calling pitches perspective.
Where have you signed? Where are you going to play?
We are going to Serrano in Italy.
Oh.
So I believe Steph has played for them before, so there's some pipeline there. But
that's exciting.
What a battery! Can I just add? Oh.
We've
got one of the best pitchers in the Premier
excited.
League, pitching to one of the best catchers in the Premier League, if not the best catcher in the Premier League. They're going to have a pretty strong defense to back that up. But you know what? Who knows? They might not even need it.
I'm very excited to throw.
Just score one run.
Yeah.
That's the objective. Yeah, that season starts beginning of April?
Yeah, it's a very quick turnaround from here to there.
You get a whole 12 months of softball, Neely Peterson.
I know, and I get to keep skipping winter. It's just really fantastic.
It's the dream. Chase the summer.
Well, a 1-2-3 inning from Taylor Cottle as Glenelg sat down. Now Walkerville, they'll likely have another chance. 14 minutes until the no new innings rule is called, but crucially for Glenelg, that sort of sets them up to have Bree McGee, Lee Langhorst, and Emily Price due up in what would likely be their final time up. So crucial that Emily Price holds right here.
No pressure, Emily. Need a quick one from you here.
Well, don't forget.
3 up, 3 down.
The Sparms, your sun protection sleeves. They've been great supporters of the softball community all year long. We're going to have to start thinking about who our Sparms player of the game could be. Try to shortlist a couple players because they get the trifecta as well again tonight.
I've got one clear one in mind, and I have to say it. Georgia Mason's looking fantastic for this. You can't really beat a no glove catch. Like,
I like the one that Neely right now is pointing to as well. She's got the 2 out here.
Yep, I'm going Sophie King. I just absolutely loved her approach against Emily with the 2 outs, runner on third, by any means necessary, get that run in. So we'll see what happens.
Tough
Becky.
contenders.
There's still a lot of time.
17 minutes left of softball to go. So
I mean, Emily Price, I'm going to be honest, when we had this conversation with about 20 minutes left in the game on Saturday, she was in the short list, but she probably wasn't in the lead and for the Sparms player of the game. And then she had a 3-run home run and continued to pitch solid on the mound, and you kind of had to give it to her.
Exactly.
who knows?
Yep. There's that off-speed pitch that's going to keep batters out in front on their front leg. Nothing behind it, that half swing. She's just
laughing it off, Bailey Lukes.
And that's the best thing to do. You get 3 strikes. Who cares about 1?
Well, Sophie King is due up. Chelsea Robinson's had a nice game as well. We'll see how important these runs are. In a game where runs are at a premium, that 1 RBI with 2 outs could be the most valuable thing. This is good preparation for Walkerville. You'd think for finals softball, there's probably going to be a lot of low-scoring, tight games. Ground ball over to first, and Gemma Sharkey races her out.
Yep.
Defense on display at West Beach.
Absolutely. Another ground ball induced by Emily Price, and just really good hustle by Sharkey. Get over there, get your base, and take care of business.
Well, we do have 3 prize packs. We didn't even get to finish that with the Sparms player of the game. We got the food and beverage voucher from Sporties. We got the Sparms sleeves, and we got the Happy Lap Co. Becky Havis endorsed, as you can see.
Yeah, it'd be rude not to hand that out.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 3, so I guess we would have the power to potentially give a runner-up for the catch of the year potential.
We could. We really
are
could.
in control here. We've gone rogue.
So these 2 are the last minor round games, correct?
This is now the last minor round game of the entire season.
Oh,
I can't see a catch topping that one for the season. I can't. I'm sorry. There's been some pretty good specky plays, but the no glove bare hands catch,
I agree.
That's fantastic.
But I'm going to contest you because something in my blood never allows me to be wrong.
Sophie
Without
King,
this run.
well,
Oh, no.
Sophie King is now
She's
2
a
for 2.
deal.
And I am...
She's hustling for 2. Sophie King has her 2nd hit of the game. There's only been 5 hits in this game total. Sophie's got 40% of them.
Oh my goodness. Straight down the right field line.
I mean, she's going both sides. 5-6 hole, down the line, heads up base running, stolen base, advances to third.
Well, entering today, Sophie King was 3rd in the competition with a .465 average. It was 20 for 43. We'll get the live marks for you.
A 2nd stolen base of the game.
Oh my goodness.
So that's 8 stolen bases now for Sophie King.
I'm trying to tell Kingy to stop.
Yeah, she is making a stronger case right now. Her average is now at...
And
now she scored.
might be the nail in the coffin.
And
for
now
Glenelg.
she's scored. As quickly as she got on, Sophie King races around.
Base running can be a killer. It really can. And that was just heads up base running all the way around the diamond by Sophie.
And she's quick, which just seals the deal.
Absolutely.
She's just so speedy on the bases.
Although, what about an Emily Price 3-run homer to take the lead in the bottom of this?
We will be off
I'd give her a kiss on the forehead.
We'd be out there trying to celebrate at home. You know what? If that comes up, Oh, can it even? Who was?
Yeah, it's
It
possible.
can.
That's in
There
the
we
script.
go.
First
Then-
two get on. Emily Price walks it off. That might put her in the position for the Sparks player of the game.
Oh,
She
my
can have it
goodness.
all three of them.
Well, Chelsea Robinson fouls one back. I mean, it's been a big effort, but again, the double from King and then the stolen base and pressure on the base path. Sophie King, her stuff plays in finals type softball.
Absolutely.
Up the middle,
Oh.
and now Chelsea Robinson has a hit.
Yep.
She's also had a nice defensive play today.
Absolutely. Have a game.
Would have been an RBI, but Sophie King did it all herself.
Curious to see the adjustment that Ellie will make here, because in her last, AB, she swung at a few pitches a bit low, ended up getting on base because of, heads up batting, but I'd like to see her pick Emily up in the zone a little bit and really take advantage of that powerful swing that she has.
Yeah, I was
but I'm
gonna
curious
say,
to see
she
how
has-
Emily's going to approach her.
She has an absolute powerhouse swing.
No,
so if
yeah, definitely.
If Emily throws the wrong pitch here, we're in for some serious danger.
Yeah, and
Because she's just absolutely swinging like there's no tomorrow.
And is Emily a little bit more hesitant to throw that down ball because of the few balls by? We'll see.
Well, there's a spy from Port Adelaide right now on the fence, getting a little look at the game. The Magpies right now look like they'll be playing West Torrens. That has been the grand final matchup for the last 3 seasons. One of those teams will...
Only one can advance, Eric. This is the biggest.
Oh, she taking advantage of that.
That is if Glenelg don't come back in what will be Nat Brinkworth's final inning as coach of Glenelg. Is it a fairy tale ending?
That was a really good job by Ellie, because from a catcher's perspective, when a batter is able to hold the bat and follow it all the way back with the ball, it is very hard to see that ball. So that was a fantastic job of her,
Ball put in play again. Langhorst makes the play across the diamond. A nice throw. Runner advances to 3, but there are now 2 outs on the board.
Still at 2.
Still at 2.
Yep.
Oh, I lied.
It's not yet.
Not yet. Runner
Who
stays
knows?
at 2.
She's probably going to have a stolen
Because who
base
are
in the
you
next
cheering
few
for?
pitches. So.
Now Sophie Roberts.
Again, still, by Emily Price, that's 3 ground balls this inning. Everything is close to the ground. So, still with that signature drop ball.
Here come the Magpies flocking in after the win over the Hills. They'll be pretty happy with that.
They need a win from Glenelg, however, if they are Port Adelaide. You guys getting some getting some waves from calf coral medalist. She'll be in contention again for a second
some
one
love from
potentially. And
Jess.
Jess Golden.
She always is. She is just a shining
best.
star, Jess Golden.
She's our golden girl.
Her partner Sammy is a real danger to win tonight's Caps medal at the baseball side of things right now.
Oh, how cute if they both won.
He would be, if he's not top 2 or 3, I would be floored.
Do you know who won in the last few years, Eric?
Of the Caps medal?
Yeah. Was he being contention or?
Sammy, he has been, but not as in contention as
This
he
year?
has been this year.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been a couple runaway guys. Jansen last year was pretty dominant. Willie Lee's had been pretty dominant. But yeah, this year, I think Sammy Steger, Jack Partington, if you're, you can tune into the Caps coverage as we talk baseball. Harding, ball to third. Why not add another defensive web jab?
It was very clutch.
Oh my goodness. A
Now-
run-saving grab from Lee Langhorst.
Absolutely, and that is exactly how you have to be on the hot corner.
Now Glenelg, take that momentum, bring it into the batter's box, drive in a couple runs. I'm talking Emily Price. I'm talking Dinger. And we have ourselves a ball game, people.
That was a very good adjustment by Sophie, though. There's nothing worse than hitting the balls on the screws and somebody makes a fantastic play on you.
We have had some ridiculous defensive plays today.
We
with
really have.
absolutely like the cool guys don't look at explosions type reactions. Like Lee Langhorst sticks out the glove, saves a run. Georgia Mason loses a glove, catches a ball with 2 hands.
Yeah, whatever.
Cricket style. I love it.
Absolutely.
Chelsea Robinson, how cool is that? Up the middle,
Act
just
like
snags
you've been
it.
there before.
Bree
I love
McGee's
it.
play at second.
Sophie King drills it down the line, gets a stand-up double. Like,
This is everyday stuff for us here in
Yeah.
Adelaide.
I'm hoping Spacequake will have like a top 10 play of the year.
Yeah.
They should.
But the good thing is they don't have to work very hard to do it because they can just look at the four defensive plays from this game,
Absolutely.
and they only have to find 6 from the rest of the season. And
I
I'm
think
sure
if they look at their Instagram, there's a few reels there that were bloody good too. So you're only looking about maybe 2 or 3 plays for the season. So you're fine, guys.
easy job this
Yeah.
weekend. Where
Really.
they've got to produce 2 softball games on Saturday. And it's a busy weekend for Spacequake Sports. It's going to be a good weekend down here on Saturday. Definitely one of the vibes of the season if you can get down here. There'll be a lot of people, so get a car park early with the baseball grand final going on at the same time as the softball 2 finals, literally the
Right.
exact same time. There are 4 baseball grand finals happening on Saturday,
Wow.
one after another down here. And then you have B grade finals in softball,
Yep.
C grade finals, and then you have the doubleheader at 5 and 7 p.m.
Yep.
We know that Seacom will be playing in it. Now, the tricky part here is that you don't know what time you're playing. How do you go?
think-
7
well,
p.m.?
7
But
p.m.
the game's
but
at 5.
the 7 innings is gonna, I think, probably closer to 8, maybe even 8:30.
How do you prepare for that? Like, do you just
You go into it. I mean, speaking from at
like a
Stars.
tournament.
Well, at Stars, we thought our grand final was going to be at 3 p.m.
Yeah, and it was
and
like
then
4. It was
delay
like
after
9
delay
p.m.
after
3 weeks
delay.
later.
Exactly, and it was we waited all day. I took a nap in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? You wake up on that day knowing that it is grand final or it is playoff day, and nothing is going to stop you from getting out of that mindset.
I think, sorry, Eric. I think luckily enough for us as well, at 7 p.m., we have the whole day to mentally prepare ourselves to come in at 6 o'clock to know if we're playing at 7, if we're playing at 8, even 8:30 for all we know. So that's one positive I think we have, knowing that we can just chill out, take the day as it goes, and then lock in at the Arvo and go from there.
Well, a season of equations, of theories, of what ifs, what can happen, and what would happen comes down to the last half inning of the year right here.
Don't you love it?
Bottom of the last, Walkerville, Glenelg. If Walkerville win, they play Seacom in the 1-2 game. If Glenelg can score 3 runs or just 2 and tie it, it will be Port Adelaide playing Seacom, and Seacom will win the minor premiership. We've come down to the final out of the year, and we still don't know who the minor premier is.
That's
It
a good
is
season. That is a really good season.
potentially a 3-way tie at 32 points is on the cards as well. Right now, 32 points on the bank for Seacom, 32 points in the bank for Port Adelaide and Walkerville. If they score holds, it's 32, and they win the tiebreaker. Crazy stuff.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to the wire, and the best games always do. Favorable count. Good eye on a 2-1 count. 2-1 count, you're looking for your pitch. Hitters count, 3-1, same thing. Got to be your pitch.
Taylor has to throw a really good strike here, or something that will lure her in to think that it's a really good strike.
Exactly. As a hitter, I'm sitting 3-1. It's got to be in my
In your
wheelhouse for me to
powerhouse,
swing.
yeah, exactly.
A tie is as good as a win from Port Adelaide's and Seacom's perspective. And
She-
almost.
Very antsy for the walk. I think that's a great pitch by Taylor. Honestly, if I'm Taylor, I'm kind of
Throw it
I'm
again.
taking advantage of that reaction a bit,
Throw it again.
and I'm going right at her on this 3-2 pitch.
You also have a good enough defense that if she hits a ground ball, you know your defense can back it up and make the play.
Absolutely.
2 powerful hitters wait in the loom. Ground ball again. They got to charge onto it. Picked up by Ellie Smith.
Made it
Exactly.
look easy.
There you go.
2 down, or 1 down, 2 to go. But it's 2 difficult batters. Lee Langhurst, a 304 average with 6 RBIs, and the dangerous Emily Price wait in the wings for Glenelg. Walkerville are 2 outs away from going from missing the finals to minor premiership.
Now I'd love to see Taylor attack her again on the hands.
We've seen.
Don't let her extend her hands on anything outside like she did her first at bat. Jam her in, make her beat you.
Taylor Cottle hasn't given up many runs this year, but a couple of them have been damaging, and that has been...
New catcher.
Oh, yeah, we've got a change.
Oh, Chelsea
Commentating,
Robinson, wow.
Now this, maybe it was the two foul balls off the face, but also, you know, in college we would call it a last inning defensive specialist. You put somebody in to just absolutely lock it down on defense.
So Robinson has gone to catch.
King's gone to short.
King has gone to short.
Stone to second.
Stone to second, and Luke's to right. So now some added drama. Now Chelsea Robinson is again a national champion, and she's caught during that, played some shortstop during that.
Yep.
She's been a Premier League Linda Martin Shield winner as a catcher. She's played shortstop nearly the whole year. She is a catcher by trade,
Yep.
so it won't be... what's that like going from field to catcher to...
Well, I honestly can't really comment on
You're
that.
just
I
always
am a
catching.
CO, catcher only, but I do admire those who don't. But was Chelsea not the primary catcher for Taylor before Bailey came?
Before Bailey came,
So
yeah.
maybe that is what they're just trying to capitalize on. Like I said, call it a last inning defensive specialist, a lid. You know, you just get somebody out there. This is a connection that you know they have. If you can lock it down between pitcher and catcher, you really don't have to rely on anybody else. So
Played for the national team as well. Whole bunch of changes. So Luke's is out of the game right
good discipline
now.
there. This is a really key at bat here by Lee.
Kelly Bested's come into right field to
Well,
replace.
That's something we're keeping an eye on, and you got to hope that Luke's is okay for the finals. We know they will be playing finals because losing your catcher, which would then mean losing your shortstop, is a significant. And a strike is called. Langhorse can't believe it. Cottle gets strikeout number 10, and Walkerville are one away.
That is very tough for Lee. That is very tough. Am I allowed to say it? Personally, I think that's a fantastic eye on 3-2. Great pitch by Taylor, but maybe one of those pitches with, you know, 2 strikes, you can't let it go, but that's really tough.
And now we got Emily Price, the 4-hitter, seeing if she can make anything happen for the Glenelg Rebels.
A competition leading 4 homers this year.
One swing won't save the world here, so I really think it's about passing the bat, getting on base. But that was a tough blow, I think, for Glenelg right there.
Can they get the tying run to the plate? Emily Price needs to get on base.
And honestly, like, I think for Walkerville and Taylor, this is like you compete early, and then if you fall behind, it's just a walk. It really isn't going to hurt you here, besides the fact that they both just want to compete against each other.
A great way to end the Premier League season. And she misses.
Interesting approach to see them staying outside on
Throwing
Price.
out, yeah. Different teams, different approaches, I guess, but
Well, down and in is the no-go zone on Emily Price.
you can see her on the line as well, crowding the inside of the plate. It's just a matter of...
Great pitch. Great pitch by Taylor. Normally you see that the changeup a little bit closer to the ground, a little bit in the dirt from Taylor, so for her to be able to elevate that and still have that nasty drop on it really makes her...
A strike away from a minor premiership. Can Taylor Cottle finish the job for Walkerville? Just missed again, and again it's a full count.
Comes down to one pitch.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where they'd go. I would test her up and in. I would provoke a swing, tuck it right underneath her elbows, see what happens. Walk her, no big deal, except for the fact that you really don't want to walk anybody, you know, as a competitor that Taylor is. But that's where I'm going.
She'd
We'll
love
see what
another
happens.
strikeout to their name.
Top of the table,
Blew it
Linda
by
Martin Trophy,
Taylor Cottle.
and playing in the 1-2 game.
Absolute gem by Cottle, but We're not surprised. The folks at home, are we?
Walkerville take care of business. They win it 2-0. They're going to play Seacom, which is your two teams, Becky Havis and Neely Peterson. I'm going to let you two chat about that. You're going to have to do a good throw to me when I go in out to our player of the game. Are we saying Sophie King?
Absolutely. Yes, I am.
Yeah. I mean, big
Don't
shout
sound so
out.
disappointed.
We'll
Becky.
ask Sophie to give Georgia Mason one of the prizes.
I'm sure she will.
Really good game from Sophie, but
Absolutely. I mean,
I have
Sophie
to
was just the
say.
catalyst. 2 strikes or 2 outs on base, stealing bases, winning
but
run,
you can't
second
beat
run.
the Georgia Mason
at
no
bat,
glove
run in
catch.
the bait. I mean,
Like,
it was fantastic.
That was beautiful. That was literally Australian culture coming out with the cricket catch.
You're
backyard
talking to
cricket.
a defensive specialist here, Becky. I love good defense. I do. I really do. I'd give player of the game to defensive player every single time if I could. Oh.
Yeah, well, there's a bit to take out of that game. Oh, golly. That was a really good game. And now we've got Tigers facing Walkerville at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Everyone get out there, Diamond 1. It'll be a really good game, and hopefully we can capitalise. But I'm going to probably throw to Eric in any second to chat with Sophie King.
All right, I'm down here with our multi-prize winning player of the game, Sophie King. You've got the Sporties voucher for some food. You've got the Sparms for the sleeves, and you've got the Happy Lapco. Now, we did decide in the commentary booth, because you get 3, you do have to give 1 away to our runner-up today, which is Georgia Mason for that catch down the line. Before we get to the game and Walkerville and all that, what about that catch from Georgia Mason?
Does it get any better than that? I reckon she practices those out in Walkerville Oval.
Is that the play of the year?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sophie, Walkerville obviously missed the finals last year. What does it mean to finish top of the table and get that 1-2 clash?
We've had some really hard games in the second half of the season. We had really close game against Glenelg a couple of weeks ago, so we knew that we needed the win tonight to get the double chance, and so yeah, very happy to finish in that top 2.
How about you this year? I mean, you're playing a full season of softball again, back at it. What's that been like and the journey been like for Sophie King this season?
I think we've just got very good vibes, very good culture with our team this year, which makes it a lot of fun. And then when you can sort of string all the hits together like we are at the moment, it's makes for a good time.
Did this game sort of have, you've played in a lot of big games, you've won some championships before, delivered in the big moments. Did this sort of have a finals feel to it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We knew coming into the game tonight that if we didn't win, you're playing West Torrens on Saturday, which is going to be we just really wanted the win tonight to get the double chance.
And what's the key to finals softball for some of the younger players that are going to be in that finals cauldron for the first time?
Basics win finals. Yeah, put your bunts down, do the basics right. Yeah.
I'm sure your Seacom counterpoints in the broadcast booth are listening in closely to that as well. Sophie King, a couple hits, the game-winning RBI, and a couple stolen bases. A fantastic season, 3rd on the batting title, 2nd on stolen bases, an unbelievable year. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very, very much.
That is Sophie King with it. Thank you very much for joining us all season long. Don't forget to come and join us for the finals on Saturday. We're broadcasting both of the games, one at 5 p.m., the other one about half an hour after that, maybe even a little bit sooner. I'm Eric Ballner. Thanks very much to Becky Havis and to Neely Peterson for joining us on the call today. And until Saturday, our finals are set. It's Seacom playing Walkerville and the grand final rematch in the elimination finals. We'll see you then.